Okay, so Will's first argument was that it's not a matter of autonomy. Euthanasia is not a matter of autonomy, it's not up to the patient, that whole bit. I want to say that I think euthanasia and physician-assisted suicide is a matter of autonomy and freedom of choice and freedom of autonomy. One quote from Jack Kevorkian, he is actually a famous doctor who went around and applied physician-assisted suicide to patients who desperately wanted it but couldn't do it because of the law, and he ended up in jail. But one of his famous or more popular quotes is that dying is not a crime, and well, quite frankly, these people are going to die anyways. Not that the point is that these people, they're in pain. They're going to die within 6 months. They're on their deathbed, on drugs, in incredible pain, and they just want to go out peacefully instead of in prolonged suffering. Sue Rodriguez is a case that my partner mentioned earlier, and she has a significant quote that says, "Whose life is it anyways?" And that's just something to think about. It is quite important. I mean, not your life. Why does it matter if she wants to take herself out of pain? So, next one, he brought up the slippery slope effect, saying that allowing voluntary euthanasia by action will lead to the slippery slope effect, which is basically once you have the voluntary part in it, it'll turn into involuntary, and you can end up killing innocent, or not innocent people, but they essentially don't want to die, but they're going to die by euthanasia anyways. So I just want to reinforce our policy that it must be a written request, so the patient must ask for it. The doctor can't give it to them. If the doctor can't inject them with anything lethal or give them anything lethal unless the patient asks for it. They must request it multiple times. Our policy would require having multiple, or not multiple, but just being evaluated to make sure that the patient, is aware of the decision they're making. They're not being irrational, that kind of thing. They have to see another doctor, or the physician has to consult another physician to make sure that this patient is ready and there's no other way to go about it. Like they can't save them through alternative care, or they can, but it's just a really bad case, that kind of situation. And another point is that there's a huge difference between voluntary and involuntary. Most doctors are not blind to this. They know what a voluntary euthanasia is. Dr. Frey said we not only can distinguish between voluntary and non-voluntary cases of euthanasia, but we do, because it's already in action in quite a few places in the world, and it hasn't been taken advantage of that much. In Holland and Belgium, they have euthanasia, which wasn't mentioned earlier, but they do. Their policy is very similar to the one that we've introduced. And according to 3 national surveys of medical behavior, which shortens life, in the Netherlands, the cases in the termination of life without an explicit request category represent less than 1% of all deaths. So basically, people are saying that the slippery slope has taken place in Holland, but the evidence shows that it's actually they're following the law and no unrightful deaths are taking place. He said that there's a religious part about it, that it is more up to God, and it's more of a religiously kind of wrong. And in that respect, I say that that is infringing upon an individual's freedom from religion. Some of us are atheists, who knows? Even some theists do not believe that God determines such things, so it's really just saying that it's religiously wrong or morally wrong. It totally depends on the person you're talking about, and that's enforcing the law on that matter is infringing upon religious freedom. The part on the Oregon model and the doctors who said that they now oppose it, they oppose physician-assisted suicide. I basically want to say that what does it matter what the doctors believe? It's up to the patient. It's up to us to vote on the legalization. And this is just the doctors in Oregon, one state out of the whole country. Also on autonomy, already discussed that, my bad. Judgment errors, another significant issue about euthanasia. I wanted to say that there is really, these people who request euthanasia, they know what they're doing. I mean, they know they're going to die anyways. It's really just a matter of taking them out of their pain. A study shows that as in previous years, the most frequently mentioned end-of-life concerns were the loss of autonomy, which is 95% of these people did it because of loss of autonomy. Also, 92%, these were the reasons why. 92% also agreed that decreasing ability to participate in activities that made life enjoyable is another reason why, and their 92% again was the loss of dignity. So basically it's not, these people are aware of what's going to happen to them, and they're aware that they might become vegetables and they don't want to do that. So we should allow them, it's their right, it's their life. Who are we to say, no, you can't kill yourself even though you're in extreme pain and I touch your skin and you go, ow, you know? So, yeah. So,